It is time for the return of the flowing Watkins Glen track to IMSA competition, as we prepare for the next installment of the Michelin Endurance Round within the WeatherTech Championship. Watkins Glen has always played host to excellent racing, and it's time to return. And so in this race preview, I'll detail all the information that you need to know ahead of the 2024 edition of the Sahlen's 6 Hours of the Glen. After a small break with the legendary 24 Hours of Le Mans taking place, seeing many entries from IMSA appear, the series' main championship returns with Watkins Glen playing host to the 6th round of this season. It also marks the third big endurance race as well, which includes entries that haven't appeared in IMSA since events such as the 12 Hours of Sebring, for example. Heading into this race, the WeatherTech Championship is coming off of an intense short race at the Detroit Street Circuit, in which Wayne Taylor Racing ended a winless streak for the number 10 Acura, with the Konica Minolta entry taking its first win since the DPI victory back at Road America in 2022. With the number 10 Acura taking the victory, this means that we continue to see different winners for each race in 2024, and I'm wondering if we will get a 6th different winner here at Watkins Glen. However, despite the huge variety in different cars taking victory, one team that is still searching for their first win in 2024 is Action Express Racing, who despite getting so close on so many occasions, are still yet to take their number 31 wheel-in Cadillac to victory lane this year. And with the 6 Hours of the Glen always being intense, unexpected, and exciting, it's possible that this race could mark the first win for the number 31 Action Express Racing Cadillac, but we won't know until the end of the event, of course. Let's first take a look at the classes and the entry list of cars for the 6 Hours of the Glen in 2024. This year, IMSA is bringing all 4 categories, which includes GTP, LMP2, GTD Pro, and GTD. LMP2 cars will be making their return to IMSA for the first time since the 12 Hours of Sebring all the way back in March. The entry list consists of 11 cars in GTP, 13 in LMP2, 11 in GTD Pro, and 21 in GTD. All these entries combine to create a 56-car grid for this year's event at Watkins Glen. Since this is a Michelin Endurance Round, we will see more entries compared to the full season, which includes cars such as the Iron Lynx and Iron Dames Lamborghinis and the number 62 Risi Competizione Ferrari. But one noticeable addition for this race at Watkins Glen is the highly anticipated return of the Lamborghini SC63 to IMSA competition. Of course, the last time the SC63 raced in IMSA was at the 12 Hours of Sebring, where it finished 7th overall. This car is also just getting back from its return over in France, where it raced at the 24 Hours of Le Mans badged as the number 19 Lamborghini, and it finished 13th overall in that event. While the SC63's return to Watkins Glen will mark another learning race for Lamborghini's GTP effort, I'm still hoping that they achieve a successful result with the number 63 car. It's also worth pointing out that 3 out of the 11 GTP entries will feature driver lineups of 3 racers. These cars include the number 85 JDC Miller Porsche, the number 5 Mustang Sampling Proton Porsche, and the number 31 Wheel-In Cadillac. The 85 JDC Miller Porsche's additional driver will be Phil Hansen, who's the Michelin Endurance Racer. The additional driver for the number 31 Wheel-In Cadillac will be Michelin Endurance Racer Tom Blomqvist. Meanwhile, Jimmy Bruni's teammates have not been confirmed for the number 5 Proton Competition Porsche as of recording this. When it comes to the history, Watkins Glen International and the event itself have been around for decades. Before the track we know and love today was even built, racing was happening, and this would take place around the village of Watkins Glen, with the first race taking place in 1948. Eventually though, a purpose-built road course was built, and this of course was Watkins Glen International, with the first race happening in 1956 with a Jaguar D-Type taking overall victory. The first event with a duration of 6 hours though, first started happening a few years later in 1963. Over the years, many manufacturers have won this endurance race, but the most successful of them all is Porsche. The German manufacturer has won here a total of 12 times. However, when Porsche last won at Watkins Glen, that was many years ago, back in 1987, when Australian Vern Chupin and American Prince Cobb took Dyson Racing's Porsche 962 to overall victory. The last winner of the 6 Hours of the Glen was BMW. As the GTP era returned to Watkins Glen, in 2023, the number 25 BMW M Hybrid V8 from Team RLL inherited the win after the number 6 Porsche was hit with a penalty. Nevertheless, Watkins Glen remains the only track that BMW has won in the IMSA GTP effort. Hopefully in 2024 though, BMW has a chance at repeating their success just 1 year ago. Let's talk about the track now. Located in the US state of New York, Watkins Glen International is considered to be one of the most iconic tracks in the United States of America. It was opened in the year of 1956 and is currently FIA Grade 2. Over the years, the track has gone through many changes, but currently has 11 turns, which make up the 3.4 mile track. That is the equivalent to around 5.5 kilometers long. For this year in 2024, the curbs at the infamous bus stop chicane have been changed, so the racing around that part of the track might be a little different than years prior. Watkins Glen is not just famous for IMSA though. Other series that have come here in the past include the NASCAR Cup Series, IndyCar, GT World Challenge, and arguably the most famous of them all, Formula 1. Let's now take a look at the championship standings heading into this race at Watkins Glen. In GTP, it's still the number 7 Porsche Penske at the top, with the number 01 Chip Ganassi Cadillac in second, followed by the number 6 Porsche Penske, the 31 Whelen Cadillac, and the number 40 Wayne Taylor Racing Acura. In LMP2, it's still the number 18 Era Motorsports entry at the top after winning the 2 races of LMP2 so far. The 74 Riley is followed by the number 04 CrowdStrike APR entry, the 52 Inter-Europol PR1 Matheson entry, and the number 22 United. In GTD Pro, after winning the last 2 races at Laguna Seca and Detroit, Rexy, the AO Racing Porsche, is at the top of the standings, followed by the number 14 Vassar Sullivan Lexus, the number 23 Heart of Racing Aston Martin, the Paul Miller Racing BMW, and the number 4 Pratt Miller Corvette. Finally, in GTD, after having a brilliant start to this season, winning 3 of the 4 races so far, the 57 Windward Mercedes is at the top, followed by the 96 Turner BMW and the number 120 Wright Porsche. The number 32 Korkhoff Preston Motorsports Mercedes is in 4th, and completing the top 5 is the number 43 Andretti Porsche. For the BOP, or Balance of Performance for IMSA's Watkins Glen race, in the GTP category, on the power side, the Acura ARX06 is still the car with the most power given. Meanwhile, the BMW M Hybrid V8 is still the car with the least power given. When it comes to the weight side of things for GTP, it's reversed. The BMW M Hybrid V8 is given the least weight, where the Acura ARX06 is still the heaviest car in GTP. For the GT cars, when it comes to the weight, the Ford Mustang GT3 is going to be the lightest car out on track, where the Mercedes AMG GT3 is still the heaviest car coming to Watkins Glen. Besides the main WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, IMSA is also bringing some of their support series to Watkins Glen. These series include the Michelin Pilot Challenge, the Porsche Carrera Cup, the Mustang Challenge, and finally the Lamborghini Super Trofeo Championship. As for the schedule for the big race, qualifying for the Sahlen 6 Hours of the Glen will take place on Saturday, June 22nd, and will begin around 3:25 p.m. and go until about 4:35 p.m. local time. As for the race, that will take place on Sunday, June 23rd, and the broadcast for the event will start at 11 o'clock a.m. and go until around 5:30 p.m. local time. As for watching this race live, it's the same system as the other IMSA events. If you're living inside the United States of America, it will be streamed on the Peacock streaming service. For everybody else worldwide, it will be on IMSA TV, as well as IMSA's official YouTube channel. If watching live is not an option, The official YouTube channel for IMSA will be posting the broadcast later on, and here on this channel I'll also be covering content on the race for Watkins Glen. So that completes the breakdown of the 2024 Sahlen's 6 Hours of the Glen. Are you excited to see IMSA racing return? And will we get a 6th different winner in the GTP class this year? Well, as always, let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you like endurance racing and you haven't already, I suggest subscribing as I make content mainly on WEC and IMSA every single week. On screen there are also some options for videos to watch next. But for now, that's it from me. I'll see you all in the next video.